So who is the best team in the Big 12? And I don't want to use Texas or Oklahoma in this conversation. I want to go strictly to the rest of the schools that will be in the conference moving forward. To be honest with you, if I am Utah, if I am Colorado right now, I am licking my chops. I am licking my chops at what the Big 12 has offered. Because take out Texas, take out OU, and say who is the best team, and you just don't know. The only undefeated team outside of Oklahoma in this conference, the West Virginia Mountaineers. It is time to tell your children about the 9-win 2023 West Virginia Mountaineers under Neil Brown. Maybe even 10 or 11 wins based on the schedule they have coming up. West Virginia this week plays Houston on a Thursday. Give me the Mountaineers coming off a bye at Houston. Then you think, wow, Iowa State somehow 2-1, facing Cincinnati on the road this week. Kansas is 2-1. BYU goes to TCU, and 4-1 BYU against 3-3 TCU. This game is not near as intimidating for the Cougars as we thought it might be. Has Texas Tech finally caught up to what it was supposed to be? What I hope that you're hearing from this is the true, complete uncertainty with the rest of this conference. While it seems so certain now that Texas and Oklahoma will find a way to the Big 12 championship, there is no telling what the rest of this league looks like. I tweeted this out, and it's true. There's a weird realm in which 12 teams, 11 teams in the Big 12 end up bowl eligible. Because everyone outside of Texas and OU can beat everyone, with the exception maybe of Houston. Baylor was also in that running as maybe the worst team in the Big 12 before beating UCF. They got killed by Texas Tech, but I still think Baylor beats Houston. They could give an Oklahoma State a run for its money. They could give despite not playing them, they could give a BYU a run for their money. They could probably play a TCU close. They'll get that chance later this year. I think Houston's the only team that we've completely ruled out for being any good, right? Houston doesn't have much of a possibility to win a Big 12 game this year, and Dana Holgerson's time there is likely done. Texas, OU, cream of the crop, top two teams in the conference for sure. But outside of that, who? What? And if the Big 12 has double-digit teams that make bowl games this year, which it seems like that's vaguely the trajectory the conference is on track for, then what does that give you nationally? Especially if you're able to win those bowl games and do well. Think about this. Oklahoma, 6-0, bowl eligible. West Virginia, 2 wins away at 4-1. Iowa State, 3-3, but 2-1 in Big 12 play with that win against TCU. They are now staring down the barrel of winning a couple games down the stretch, going 6-6, 7-5, despite their loss to Ohio, going to a bowl. Kansas at 5-1, already a game away from bowl eligibility. Texas Tech 3-3, but 2-1 in Big 12 play. That West Virginia loss, that Kansas, make it up, Missouri loss, those two in there for sure. But Tech now looking better, 3 wins away from bowl eligibility with 6 games to go. BYU 4-1. Kansas State 3-2. I think both those teams go to a bowl. Oklahoma State 3-2. Their ease of schedule, they likely go to a bowl. TCU 3-3. I'd be shocked if the Horned Frogs don't go to a bowl. UCF 3-3. They've still got something. Right? John Rice Plumlee comes back, gets in full stride. He's a good quarterback. Cincinnati, 2-3, 0-2 in Big 12 play, but that defense is good. Baylor and Houston, my jury is still out, but there's a way the Big 12 sneaks double-digit teams into bowl games, but the question is who is the best in this conference? There really isn't an answer. That's concerning to me. Who's the best team in the Big 12? It's Texas or Oklahoma. But if we talk the real Big 12, the Big 12 that I root for, the Big 12 that is the future of this league, who is the best team? It could be BYU. If you're a BYU fan, it could be BYU. If you're a TCU fan, despite the loss, it could still be TCU because everybody else is losing. It could be Texas Tech. For some reason, for some godforsaken reason, it could be Ollie Gordon and Oklahoma State. That is just how wild the Big 12 is right now. Kansas looks so good. But at the same time, the Jayhawks might finish at 6-6, 7-5. And right now, 7-5 could be good enough for fourth best in the Big 12. That's crazy. And again, I love 2007. I love the idea that anybody can beat anybody. But when that means that Texas and OU get the spotlight, that is when this is a problem. On Locked On Big 12, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's show is also brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NFL. I had a bit of a rough weekend in college football with my wagering because I had the Texas Longhorns -4. They did lose outright to Oklahoma. But this is why FanDuel exists. You can make it all up in the NFL. Snap into action with the NFL this season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time than right now. Spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NFL.